Hi, I'm going to show you a piece of homeowner maintenance that I bet 90 to 95% of homeowners don't do. And if you'll do it, you will definitely increase the life of your water heater and drastically decrease the chance of having a water heater leak. What it entails is changing out the anode rod. The anode rod is inside your water heater tank, and its job is to corrode instead of your tank corroding. These anode rods, they don't last forever. And once it's gone, the only thing left to corrode is the tank. And once enough of that tank material corrodes, the tank starts leaking. These anode rods are fairly cheap, probably about $20. And if you will replace your anode rod every few years, your water heater is going to last a lot longer. So let me show you how to do that. So this is where your anode rod is. You may or may not have a cap left on there. But if you look down in here, there's a large nut. It's about an inch and 1/16 inch. And you need to remove that. And that is the anode rod. But before you can do that, you need to do a couple of things. If you just pull that anode rod out without doing anything else, you're going to have water spraying out of there. And second, you're going to have very hot water spraying out of there. So let me show you what you need to do first. First thing to do, turn off the breaker to your water heater. If your water heater's gas, then turn off the gas to the water heater so it's not making more hot water. Then go into your house and turn on the hot water in several places. Let this hot water run long enough until you can put your hand under it comfortably. That'll probably take several minutes. It took me about 10 minutes. And whatever temperature of this water is coming out is the temperature that anode rod will be. If that water is too hot to touch, then if you try to pull that anode rod out of your water heater, then it's going to burn your hand. So make sure you've got at least some tepid water coming out. It doesn't have to be cold, but it has to be something that you can stand to touch for 10-20 seconds. Once that's done, turn off the water supply to your water heater. And now you're ready to take out the anode rod. So I've got a breaker bar. It's about 14-15 inches long, and I was not able to get my anode rod loose with this breaker bar. I had to use this impact wrench. And a lot of people don't have impact wrenches. Don't let the fact that you don't have an impact wrench stop you from doing this important piece of homeowner maintenance. Borrow one, rent one. You'll only need it for an hour or so. Once you get the anode rod loose with the impact wrench, the bolt part of it is pretty far down in there. You can't just reach in there and grab it and pull it out. So what I did was use my breaker bar and the socket, and I just put it over the anode rod. Then I kind of put it at an angle where it would kind of put some tension on it and allow me to pull it out. You can see here as I'm trying to get it out of there. And here we go. And then you just pull it up until it comes out. Now you can see I put a hole in my ceiling. I hope my wife doesn't see that, so that I could get that thing out. Now, if yours is eaten up, it's just going to be a piece of wire. You're not going to need to put a hole in the ceiling. Also, if you just pull it out a foot or two until it hits the ceiling, you're going to be able to see if there's anything left. If there's plenty left, then just put it back in there, screw it back in, and you're done. If it's pretty well gone, then just bend it, do whatever you need to do to get it out. Again, you don't need a hole in the ceiling. Okay, so this is what it looks like. It's still mostly intact. I'd say 90-95% of it is still here. Here's what a brand new one looks like. You can see that this old one is essentially as thick as this brand new one. So I'm going to reuse the old one, but when it comes time to replace that one with this one, they have these cutouts in it so you can bend it and put it into the water heater when there's not a lot of headroom above the water heater. Now you saw that I had to cut the hole in my ceiling to take this one out, and that's because I plan on taking this out about once a year and showing you how it degrades and gets eaten away over time. So I needed that hole where I can reuse the hole every year. Anyway, I'm going to put this one back in and show you. Now, if you pull yours out and it looks simply like a piece of wire, maybe like about as thick as a clothes hanger wire, then you have nothing left. It's definitely time to replace. But in my case, I'm going to reuse this one. So let me show you how to reinsert this anode rod. So first I'm going to show you how to put in a brand new anode rod. So you really need to buy one of these bent ones if your water heater is anywhere close to the ceiling and you can't put it straight in. So what you need to do is just bend it, insert it into the hole, and work it down. Straighten it out a little bit as you go. Okay, I haven't bent mine enough. I need to bend it some more. I'm going to bend it here to almost 90 degrees and see if I can get it in there. Okay, let's try again. Okay, there we go. And it doesn't have to be perfectly straight, but straighten it some as you go so it reaches close to the bottom of the tank. And just put it in, straighten each segment, and put it in there. And then you want to start with the breaker bar, get it tightened, and then you'll use the impact wrench to tighten it up. But since I'm going to put my old one back in, we're going to pull this one back out. I just wanted to show you how these go in. Now, if you've got plenty of room above your water heater, you don't need to buy one of these segmented types. All right, let's get this out of here. And now we'll put the old one back in. So I'm just going to insert it up through the hole in my ceiling and then bring it. Let me pause right here. My video showing putting pipe sealant on the anode rod disappeared, and I was not going to take the anode rod back out of the water heater. But it is important to put pipe sealant or Teflon tape on the threads before reinstalling the anode rod into the water heater. Straight down. All right, and again, you want to start with by hand first because you don't want to cross thread. So do not start with the impact wrench. Get it threaded until it starts tightening up a little bit with this breaker bar in the socket, and then finish tightening with the impact wrench. All right, we'll tighten this just a little more. All right, that's probably about as much as we're going to do with this. Now we'll finish it off with the impact wrench. Okay, so you're basically done. So now you want to turn the water back on. I'm going to wait 2 or 3 minutes. Make sure I don't have any leak here. And then we'll finish up. So I'm going to just let it sit and wait a few minutes and I'll be back. All right, so this is dry still. So I think we've got it on there well. I'm going to put this cap on. Turn the power back on. And we're done with this project. That's how simple it is. Definitely the hardest part of the project is getting that anode rod out of the water heater. And an impact wrench really does help. I had to borrow one myself to get my anode rod out. But if you'll check your anode rod every year or two, and once it starts getting eaten up, maybe when it's half as thick as a new one is, it's time to replace. Then you don't have to worry about it for a few years. And if you'll do this, your water heater will definitely last longer and you'll save money in the long run. This is really a pretty simple do-it-yourself project, and it's pretty important. I hope this video has been helpful to you. I really hope you've learned something, and I hope you'll go out this week and check your anode rod. I'd sure like to hear in the comments what you find. If this video has been helpful to you, please give me a thumbs up. And if you enjoy videos like this, please consider subscribing to my channel so you'll be notified when new videos come out. Again, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day.